All right. Good morning, folks. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Fields to the Bay. Yeah, that's kind of the consensus right now with the folks. That's why I wanted to come in here, do a little bit of a film breakdown of what I see from him. Before we get started, though, let's talk about our sponsor, SimBull, the stock market for sports that allows you to trade sports teams like stocks and earn cash payouts when your teams win. Use your sports knowledge to buy low, sell high, and earn cash payouts when your teams win. Visit www.simbull.app or visit the link in the description below. Make sure to use promo code CoffeeBreak for a $10 deposit bonus and buy a share of your favorite team, folks. How we doing this morning? Mustard should be our quarterback, wide receiver, and whole defense. Well, look, I'm going to be doing a breakdown. Today, we're going to be specifically focused on Justin Fields, of course, but in the near future, I'll be looking at Mac Jones. I'll be looking at Zach Wilson even more, Trey Lance. So the possibilities are out there. And I had to get on this morning because I have other things to do. Plus, the Niners have a press conference later today. So jam-packed Monday for everyone. So Justin Fields, just like an overview of who he really is as a player. We all know he's athletic, an athlete. He has a strong arm. So his athleticism isn't a question mark here. Um, I think what I really do love about Justin Fields that I think rarely gets talked about is his toughness. The guy's a baller. I mean, I just tip my cap every time I see him play. You know that he's on the field to win. He wants to win. He's just competing. He wants to compete at a high level. And for that, I honestly respect that for him. But some issues come up from time to time. And what that is I see a lot of hesitation, a lot of he reads the field. That's to me that I think that's pretty obvious when you see him. He's looking around to see who's open, but he does it very slowly. So he's going to need to that timer in his head, he's going to need to speed that up. Um Sometimes when he throws it, and this is kind of nitpicking, but when he throws it like the spiral is like wobbler, you know, minor things he can clean up, but still they show up. And to me, that you want to throw that ball tight and you know not have it wobble too much to allow your receiver to make a clean catch. And then another thing is he doesn't really protect the ball well. Interceptions, fumbles. So he needs to do a better job just protecting the football. So those are some of the key things here, and we'll look at some of those as we look at some film. So we're going to be looking at Northwestern film and some game, a little bit about from the Clemson game. Sorry, it's too damn early. I got my coffee right here. So Northwestern, my guy had a tough game. Like this was one of his toughest games. And Northwestern, man, they had some dudes balling that I've never heard of, but they were giving Fields and Ohio State in general a tough time. And I think this is a great way to start because I want to look at a game where he really struggled and a game where he, excelled. So Northwestern and Clemson, those two games, I think captured that for Justin Fields. So the first play here I want to look at is I think the guy at the top of the screen here is going to he's going to run a hook route. But what I see from Fields' footwork is he kind of lags a little bit and is he does this little like stutter move, this little toe tap. Very hard to see, but 1, 2. Now, what we're seeing from Fields is he tends to throw the ball way too late when it should be. This should be much cleaner, in my opinion. This should just be a fake handoff. Boom, you're ready to throw, not stutter. And I see a little stutter move. Again, this isn't a big deal right here. But in the NFL, that corner is going to be screaming at that wide receiver. So it has to be much cleaner, smoother from that standpoint. So again, something minor, but I think it was worth noting here. Now this other play here, top of the screen, the guy at the very top is going to run an out route. And Fields is going to be a little late at throwing this football. Now the receiver does a hell of a job making this catch, but this ball should be out like right here, right before anticipation throws, right? You want to make sure that your receiver has enough real estate before he goes out of bounds. And you throw this on time, you can argue that the receiver can catch and run after catch, right? Yak yards. It's a lot of Shanahan's offense. And so here, he throws it a tad late. Like this should be coming out like right now because he's coming off his break. And there's a little bit of space before he's out of bounds. Well, look, he's turning around still looking for it. This was he barely caught it. But it's concerning because it's late. It's still kind of late, even though he made the completion. In the NFL, it's a whole different ballgame. And this is what, head coaches are going to yell at their young quarterback about. Like it's all about timing too. And so you don't want to mess up that timing with your receiver. So now let's look at good Fields. Sorry, I got to get organized here. Here we go. So this one here, and this is what he tends to do.
Remember, Olave is out.
He's going to scramble. There's nothing here and pick up the first down. This is a third down here. So really Northwestern did a good job defensively covering the receivers, but there's really nothing here. A guy screaming in his face, able to scramble, pick up the first down. And this is what a lot of folks want from the next Niners quarterback. When nothing is there, nothing is available, make a play, make something out of nothing. Justin Fields does that very well, better than, honestly, a lot of the people coming out of the draft. So this is a really good play here from him and able to extend the drive. This other one, so this one I'm pulling up. A lot of defenses love to blitz Fields, and he has to realize and anticipate that.
Down and goal.
So let's rewind this back a little bit. So I believe Northwestern here is going to bring 6 guys, these 4 and these 2. Now he has one-on-one there, and honestly, this one led to a sack, just to get ahead of it. This one led to a sack, and you're in the red zone. You never want to get a sack in the red zone. Like that's one of my biggest pet peeves too, because let's say this was at the 20, you get sacked, 10-yard sack. Now you're at the 30, that field goal it's much tougher. This is 3rd and goal. So you have to anticipate that when you're Fields, get rid of that football, and you try to roll left, and you cause your team more yards with that. But you know, you have to know where your hot route is going to be at, so you avoid this situation, and you could just throw that away. You live to fight another day. This one here, yeah, I don't put this all on him. I'm sure a lot has to do with the offensive line calling it out and communication. But as a quarterback, you have to know when to throw it away, and then don't cost your team any points. Like, again, this was at the 10. When did this? Yeah, this was at the 10. It's different when you're at the 20, 25, and you take that sack. That's going to be a tougher field goal for Robbie. You want to make it easier. Don't want to cost your team any points when you're in the red zone. All right, let's look at this next one. Good morning, everyone. I know it's early. Listen, I got my coffee, watching some football. What else? What else can I ask for? All right. Sorry, I try to mute the audio. I don't want to get copyright strike or anything. So in this one, Field is gonna fake the handoff. He's gonna roll right, and we'll throw it to his number 5 here. I think number 5 is gonna run like a what kind of route? I think he's gonna come across, so it's gonna be a crossing route. That's right. And again, Fields reads this way too late, delivers the ball way too late, and allows the defender to make a play on it, pretty much. There he is, going to roll right. This should be gone by now. That ball should be out. And honestly, to be fair to Justin Fields, I don't have the all 22 view, so I don't know if the receiver was covered or whatnot. But if this was all done correctly, right there, that ball should be coming out. You're allowing the defender to, number one, take a solid hit on you. This could have ended ugly. And once you deflect that, anything can happen. And, most of the times, that ball deflection, that wobbler that's going to be sitting in the air, it goes to the defense. They have a better angle on it. So those timing, releasing the ball late, like Shanahan, that's his offense. If you're not, putting the ball where it needs to be in a timely fashion, then it's not going to work out. And those are things he needs to clean up. And, those are things that are fixable, fortunate enough for him, but they still show up time and time again. Let's watch it one more time. Roll. I like the play call. I mean, yeah. Looked like he was open too, so. All right. Now, some of these, you just can't explain it. It's just like he needs to work on his mechanics. But, like, this one here. Like, this is a backwards pass. Backwards pass. If you're going to throw it backwards, you need to hit him in the chest, because you don't want it to be your fault. Like, you throwing it backwards, same with the toss backwards, right? You don't want to throw it low, throw it too high. You want to just throw it in his chest. And here, this is a layup for quarterbacks. It's just a layup. I mean, I don't understand why you would throw it here. Maybe this is like you're throwing it back, so then this guy right here that you're throwing it to is gonna maybe throw it again. But the way Justin Fields threw it, I mean, this had no chance. Way too low. And I think that's more to do with mechanics than anything. He has a tough time, like, making those quick throws, like those RPO throws. He has a very tough time doing that. Sometimes they come out way too slow, get to the receiver, wait, like, it just takes a while to get there. And when you see like Zach Wilson and Mac Jones, like those guys, they're quick, and that ball just jumps off the hand. And that's what you want. You want to get that ball to your receiver quick enough in order for them to react, make a play on it. So this is just a bad throw. I don't know what we were doing here. I don't know. Again, some things you just can't explain. All right, let's look at a good play here. Yeah, this is a good play. 3rd and 4. He's going to go to the slot here. Slot's going to run like a little fade route. Boom. On the money. And the thing with Fields too is like when he doesn't have to read the field, when he just knows where he's going to throw it and that guy just gets open, he's going to put it on the money and he's going to put a little zip on it. And, you know, that's why people are falling in love with him, is when he knows where to throw it, he's up there with accuracy and everything. And he has a great arm, but that's not going to be the case all the time, which, you know, he needs to do a better job reading the field. But here he knows where he's going and he's throwing that ball. Great location too. You want to throw it to that outside shoulder. You don't want to give the corner a chance to make a play on that. So that's good Fields right there. And then you have this next one where we already seen it in one example, but the next one you're just like, you have nothing, but you make something out of nothing. And honestly, sometimes that's quarterbacking too. Look, there's nothing. He's scrambling. And he's just an athlete. Like, just look at him run. He's an athlete. Very tough to bring down. The guy's a total gamer. And like I said, I respect that. All right. We have a couple more in this game before we move on to the Clemson game. Yeah, I want to see this one here.
Garrett Wilson.
So my comment on this is, why didn't he make this throw? So I have a feeling we're going to see some guy open, and I'm just like, why didn't we make the throw? Okay, yes. So you see him scramble, pick up the first down. Oh my God, that's going to be in the highlight tape. But this was technically a screen to the outside here, to the receiver. And he didn't throw it. Why? I don't know. This is one of the things I would love to ask him. And I'm sure this is where, you know, guys at the pro day maybe ask him. I don't know if they have the capability to talk to him like they do at the combine and things like that, but why didn't we make this throw? Look, he's open. He's ready to receive the ball. This guy has him sealed. He has a lead blocker here. He only needs to beat one guy. Why didn't he throw this? And again, he scrambles, picks up the first down. No big deal, right? But again, in the NFL, things are different. That's not going to open up that easily. And 9 times out of 10, that play's not going to work. He's going to come back on, you know, after the 3rd down, head down, and his coach is going to have to talk to him like, why you didn't make this throw? It's the little things. Maybe he saw something he didn't like. I don't know. But to me, it looked like this was meant to go here to this guy. Don't know what number he is. 5. But he didn't throw it. So Niners All Day says, yes, you can talk to the players at their pro day. So yes, if I'm there, if I'm a scout, if I'm Adam Peters, walking up to him, pulling this up on the iPad and said, hey, what were you thinking here? I'm not going to say, are you crazy? Why you didn't make this throw? But you want to get their reasoning too. I'm sure he had a reason. why he didn't make this throw. Maybe he saw he didn't like how this edge was coming at him, thought he was maybe closer than he thought. I don't know. There has to be a reason, but that's one of the things where, yes, is a great play, right? He made something there, but there was also another play to be made, and just not sure why he didn't make it. We're going to see that in the Clemson game too. All right. Actually, I have two more here. I say just a bad read.
100 yards.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay, this was an interception, yes. And a lot of people would say, all right, it was a miscommunication between receiver and quarterback. Nah, that's not how it works. So he's rolling right. You know, the corner does a good job on the receiver, but right there, if the ball's not out at that point, then you just throw it away or you hold on to it until you know exactly where he's going to be at. He's running out of real estate. This is similar to the other one where he ran an out route. He's running out of real estate. Where do you expect the receiver to go? He's not going to stay there, right? He's going to scramble like he's taught to do. So, Justin Fields, way too late to throw that football. You know, at that point, the receiver's like, all right, I guess I have to try to get open again. And Justin Fields releases that ball, which turns into an interception. I don't understand why we threw it so late. Like it was pretty covered. I'll give him that. But it's worse when you wait until he has no more room on the sideline and he has to try to get open. So to me, that's on the quarterback. You either throw that ball away or you hold on to it, try to make a play or something. But you don't just like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just try to throw it at the sideline. Like now the corner has the better view on it. So I put that on Justin Fields. Has to be more careful with the football. This is, you know, ball security that I touched on earlier. We just have to do a better job protecting the football and knowing when to throw it, not throw it too late because it can cause plays like this. This is what drives coaches nuts, I'm telling you. And it's what's going to drive me nuts if this is happening on Sundays and we pick them up. Number 3 overall. Okay, this last one here from this game before we move on to the Clemson game is Toughness. It's Toughness. Give me 1 second here. Oh, no, that's not it.
Down and 11.
All right. He's going to scramble here. And again, I love his toughness, but I don't know if I love it to the point where you got to put your shoulder down, trying to make a play. He has a dog mentality. I love that. But if I'm taking you number 3 overall, I wouldn't want my franchise quarterback to be doing that. You know, slide. Don't make it another Jimmy situation where he gets hurt trying to, you know, put his shoulder down. So again, he took some time getting up from this. And it was a huge shot if you listen to the audio. Boom. That guy just came screaming down. But you have to know, like, just go out of bounds, man. Just go out of bounds. I don't want to see Justin Fields get hurt on the field. So I would rather just have you go out of bounds or slide. And, you know, he did that for some part in the Clemson game, but he still took a big shot in one. So, yeah, you don't want to get killed on that one. But, all right, let's move on to the Clemson game where really folks said, you know, it's pretty much his best game played. Do you guys agree? Some say that's his greatest game he's ever played. And knowing that what stakes were on in that game, he made some really good plays, but he really made some questionable plays, which we'll touch on. But let's first start with just pure athleticism.
Guys, once again,
look at the speed. I mean, he just hits that hole hard. That's what jumped out at me. Just look how quick. I mean, 47 thought he was going to get him. 47 thought he had a shot. Nope. Pure athlete. Pure athlete. No one's questioning that. Up there with the Trey Lances of the world. But he's an athlete, man. You're going to get an athlete. All right, let's look at this next one. I think throws the ball deep to the slot receiver.
make you
Play action. Throwing it deep. You'd love to have number 5 just catching stride, but I'm not going to nitpick that. Again, I don't have the all 22 angle, so but you're going to see a lot of it. A lot of the highlights from this game was the nice deep ball, accurate. He did miss one, which we'll get to, but for the most part, he was accurate, able to capitalize on that. Yeah, the Sugar Bowl was a great performance for Fields. Again, some would say his best game played in college. So, okay, this next one was the first touchdown, and it was a touchdown, but this is curious as to why he moved off his first read. His first read was open, but he moved on from it, and he threw it to a nicely covered, what was it, the tight end? And it was still a touchdown, but why did we move on from this guy, number 5? And I think I have the better angle right here. So he's going to come in a slant, and he's open up right there. Now, at that point, to Fields' credit, he was kind of like moving on from it. He was already looking here. But this is one of the plays where you got to allow it to develop, and he was open. He was open. Now, the only reason I bring it up is because if he doesn't throw a touchdown here, scouts, everybody's looking like number 5 was open. What happened? And probably he'll still get asked about that. Like, what made you move on from that really quickly? Because, a lot of this is they're kind of trying to, if they're playing man, they want to make it difficult for the corner. And basically that guy that was in the slot is going to seal the guy on the outside that allows the other guy to get open. See that? Trying to make it difficult. And so if that was your first read, it takes time to develop that. And so just a little curious as to why. And if that hadn't been a touchdown, I'm sure people would be all over that. But since it was something minor, still made the play, still was able to locate this football, and that tight end just bodied, that corner. But again, this is another play that I would bring up and be like, Justin Fields, what made you move on quickly from that look, because that's really where the ball should go in an ideal situation. All right. So this next one here, this was a deep pass attempt, but it was missed. This was the only one he didn't capitalize, and this was to Olave, who's a wonderful receiver. He's going to throw it and put just every ounce into that one, but overthrew him. Should have been a touchdown, just a overthrow. Pocket looked clean. Just a little overthrow. It doesn't, from the 2 games that I watched, it didn't come up as often, but just shows you the great arm as well. So there's that. All right. This next one, this is one where that kind of captures Fields does go through his progressions. And a lot of, I'm a big fan of Mac Jones, but I would never say Justin Fields doesn't read the field. He does. My only thing is he reads it too damn slow. Pick it up a little bit. We can have something special. But here you see it here. He's going through his progressions, makes a good read. I think his first read was on the outside. Didn't like it, moved on, covered, then goes to the middle of the field. Boom, open. Nicely job. Just nice job there. No complaints. So this next one is more scheme than anything. It'd be something that you would see in a Shanahan's offense and roll left, throw it to your tight end who just leaked to the right side, touchdown, right? Nothing special from Fields, more scheme than anything, but he was able to execute this perfect. And, this is what type of plays you'll see in Shanahan's system. So it was nice to see him run this smoothly. And because he's such a great athlete, the defense just kind of overflows to that side because he has that ability to run, and they have to respect that. You get this tight end leaking over, throws it right on the money, put a nice zip into it. Again, when Fields knows when to throw the ball and where he's going with it, he has no problem locating and throwing it accurately with some zip on that. What I mean by that, just speed, the way it accelerates. It's great. That was great. All right. We have a few more here. Kind of need to rewatch this one. Scrambling. This is the big shot. Yeah. The big shot. Toughness again, just showing his toughness. Obviously, he's in pain after this. I don't know if he cracked the rib on that, but these are the shots you want to avoid in the NFL. Like, this was tough. I remember watching that game like, ouch. The fact that he was able to get up and throw a touchdown pass after this shows, again, the gamer he is, his competitiveness, and his toughness. That's what I love most about Fields. It's what he brings to the table. That's what I want in a player, especially quarterback. Don't want anyone to just be able to hit you and walk away with it. He got up, was able to make a play after this, and that was amazing to watch. But I would want him to avoid that. Again, if I'm drafting you as a franchise quarterback, I'd want you to be available at all times. And I don't know how many times Fields is going to be able to get up when he's taking hits like that. Niners going to draft another D lineman and disappoint the whole league. I hope not. That would be disappointing. Honestly, the Niners do that, they're really dumb. Who trades 2 first-round picks for D linemen? All right. Let's look at this next one.
Now as the Buckeyes.
Yeah, this was the touchdown pass right after. Boom, Olave. And again, Fields knew where he was going with it, and that's when he's at his best, right? My only complaint is, and again, he's hurt, so I'm not even going to put a lot on him. Just shows his toughness. A little bit of a wobbler coming out. But, yeah, look at that. That was an ugly ball. But the point of the game is to score touchdowns and win. And that's what he did. All right. We got two more. Two more before we wrap this thing up.
Add to the lead.
This was a strike by Field. Another touchdown pass. I believe this one's going to 83. Yeah, 88. Sorry. This was a strike. I don't have the other angle, unfortunately, and that would have been sweeter. But this is a nice ball. Again, Fields didn't move past that guy. He knew he was going to 88 all the way. Just look at him. His helmet never moves. Boom. But that's when he's at his best. That's when he's at his best. Shanahan knows how to put guys in positions like that. However, it's not always going to be like that. So I get people saying, Justin Fields, he's going to be able to do something when nothing's there. Especially, that's what Shanahan needs. Well, he could do it with his legs. But if you ask him, hey, go through your third read with your arm, it's not always going to be a timely thing. You know, he's going to need a lot of time in the pocket to do that. Or he's just going to have to scramble until someone's open. But that's not efficient enough. This last one, we'll kind of end this last one on a good note. Shows you his arm again to Olave, and that was a thing of beauty. Could have let the receiver a bit more, but again, that's nitpicky. Just cannon. Just threw a cannon over for a touchdown. So there's Justin Fields, guys. Was able to cover Northwestern game and the Clemson game a little bit, and showed you his great arm, his great talent, athleticism, his toughness, how he competes. That's what I really love about Justin Fields. What he needs to improve on. We talked about ball security. That's going to be one of the things that people are going to constantly bring up with Justin Fields. Protect the football, ball security. The next thing is when you're going through your progressions, you have to do it much faster. And another thing that we kind of saw in two examples is why there was two plays where he moved on from his read when the guy was open. And that kind of brings you where his mindset is at, what he's looking at when he's on the field. So those are kind of the question marks for Justin Fields. So I'm not really going to get into if the Niners should draft him at number 3. This was kind of just a overview of what Fields brings to the table. But in the near future, I will jump into a conversation like that where we talk about, was it worth moving up at number 3 overall to get a guy like Justin Fields? We don't know. Could be, Trey Lance. I honestly have no idea. Who? I have my personal favorite, but again, I'll wait until I post another video on that and let you guys know my insight on what the Niners should do. But let's look at some guys in the chat. Chris says, Kyle Designs guys so open, just need someone that can hit guys when open and try to make plays when they're not. Yeah, I mean, Shanahan kind of has that with Jimmy a little bit, but Jimmy just, I don't know, for some reason he's too timid in the pocket, and sometimes he moves off of his reads too quickly. That's kind of Jimmy's thing. But no question, Justin Fields will be able to sit in that pocket and just look unfazed. But that's never a good thing either. You want to make sure your the timing in your that internal clock that's going off of your head is quick enough where you're not taking sacks or taking big shots in the pocket as well. Wilson or Fields or we riot. That's kind of the consensus right now. I'm going to be honest. The Niners draft Mac Jones. I think Levi Stadium gets burned down to the ground. But let me remind everybody. I put my trust in Kyle Shanahan first, better than my knowledge and everyone else's knowledge. So this is his first time we're going to see his guy, the guy he wants, drafted by the Niners. I'll say if it's not who you think it will be, at least give it some time. Give it some time before we can critique and do all that. Because I believe in Shanahan before I believe in what everybody else says on TV and stuff like that. So I hope to God, our Lord Jesus King or Kings pray on everything holy. We don't pick a fucking quarterback. You want a defensive lineman, O-lineman, McGlinchey replacement? Again, why would somebody give up 2 first-round picks to pick up an O-lineman? Zach Wilson, really good. Really good. I actually have him ranked number one quarterback. That's how highly I think of him. Jimmy became very hesitant. He roll out. C. Kittle is open now on the crosser. Then he'll take 2 more steps and throw it. Yeah. That's kind of Jimmy in a nutshell. I respect Jimmy. I think he was able to just kind of lead the franchise in the right direction. And we, even when we signed Jimmy, he was always a bridge quarterback. He was never going to be here for 10 plus years. It's hard for players to be in one uniform for 10 plus years. That's kind of unique nowadays. But I knew when we signed that 5-year contract, it was like, okay, he is going to be there. But we, in the future, down the road, we're still going to need to draft a quarterback, develop them, because Jimmy is very limited in that regard. So that's kind of what I say. I trust Kyle, but if it's Mac, I'm done. A lot of people like Mac. A lot of people do like Mac. I'm one of them. I don't know if I would pick him number 3 overall. That's different. At 12, hell yeah. Number 3, Jimmy's footwork is not. He's too slow. He's too slow sometimes. Pitts. Oh, man. Kyle Pitts at number 3 overall. Fields to the Bay. Yeah. So a lot of people like Fields. A lot of people like Lance. People just hate Mac Jones. That's kind of what I'm getting at here. But either way, I feel like we should put our trust on Kyle Shanahan. I'd be shocked if they picked a guy like Mac Jones. I honestly would be shocked if they picked Justin Fields, only because they moved up, gave up 2 first-round picks for. I mean, you only do that when you know you're going to get the top 2 guys, just to give you my reasoning on it. So I would honestly be shocked if they do that too. We're going to be watching some Trey Lance film in the near future. So everyone stay tuned for that. What's up, folks? What's up? Yeah, a lot of people bring up Fields has chemistry with, or knows, Kyle Shanahan knows of Fields. That was years ago too, And then there's like conversation now because like John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan is going to Mac Jones's pro day. People are freaking out about that. Again, you can't read too much into that either. You know, guys just have to watch everybody. Maybe they want to confirm that that's not the guy. That could be it too. You know, you go to pro days just to confirm what you see on film. Be like, I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. So it could be like, oh, Shanahan really loves Mac Jones, or it could be like Shanahan really didn't see anything, but he's just doing his due diligence of going through that. Because people would knock him if he didn't see him live, and then he turns into the next, Manning or whatever. I doubt that, but All right, folks. Well, we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you everyone for joining in. Again, we touched on Justin Fields' Northwestern game and the Clemson game. So stay tuned for that. Plus, probably get another video out to you all regarding the 49ers press conference. I think it's today. I think it's later today. So there's a lot of Niner news coming around, a lot of information to retain. So we'll see everyone soon. Thank you again, everyone, for joining. And as always, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.